Conference on the Hill sees Rick Majerus turn the remainder of the season over to interim head coach Dick Huntsman. The Utes will refocus. They score 2 Mountain West Conference wins in the week against Wyoming and against UNLV. And it finally gives interim head coach Dick Huntsman something to smile about as he contemplates his next task. The San Diego State Aztecs and Steve Fisher are in town. Running Ute basketball is coming at you. A holiday crowd beginning to file into the Jon M. Huntsman Center as San Diego State takes on Utah in Mountain West Conference play. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Brown. Welcome to the Huntsman Center. Welcome to Running Ute basketball on KJazz TV. Steve Fisher's San Diego State team surprised a lot of people in the preseason. They are 10-5, which is more games than they won in the last 2 years. But Steve Fisher has a lot of things still to get done with this program. For more on that, let's bring in my partner, Mark Eaton. And Mark, he's a veteran coach. But even with a veteran, it takes a while to get it done.
Well, it does, Steve. You have to change the program around, get your philosophies in place, and he's done an excellent job. As you mentioned, this team only won 9 games in the last 2 years. They're 10-5 this year, coming off a very tough loss at BYU the other night, but still a team to be contended with.
All right, and for Utah, of course, as we mentioned in the open, Rick Majerus has stepped aside for the remainder of the year. His own health problems, and more pressingly, the health problems of his mother, causing him to say to Dick Huntsman, take over my team. It was a decision that was not arrived at lightly, and it was one that gave him some options, but he opted out, and there was one major reason.
She actually said she would come to the Huntsman Cancer Center for me so I could coach. But, you know, that wouldn't be fair to her. So, you know, there's a great quote, you know, all women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That is his. That's wild. And you know what? Maybe I can become a little bit more like my mom here now.
So the Utes now know who their head coach will be for the remainder of this season. They responded with 2 wins, one prior to the announcement against Wyoming, and of course one on Saturday against UNLV. And that brings us to our Utah Dodge keys to the game, Mark. That first key directly impacts the way they played and relates to how they played over the past 7 days.
Well, that's right, Steve. The 2 keys to the game for the Utes tonight are, first of all, they have to maintain their energy level. They really picked it up against Wyoming after the announcement and continue to maintain it against Wyoming the other night. So that's one of the first keys tonight. The other one is they must not underestimate these Aztecs. This is a very talented team, although young in terms of the coaching philosophy and everything, but they're a team that can definitely cause some trouble. They like to play an up-tempo style game, and the Utes have to be careful.
All right, well, they lost by 29 on Saturday to the Aztecs. Don't expect a repeat performance tonight. Running Ute basketball is coming at you next.
This University of Utah Sports presentation is brought to you in part by First Security, currently giving 110%. Phillips 66, the Performance Company. By Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, enjoy. Smith's Food and Drug Centers, market fresh every day. By Regis Blue Cross Blue Shield of Utah, offering more strength, more choice, more control for you. And by AT&T, wireless from AT&T, your world close at hand.
Hi, I'm Tony Conza, inventor of the Blimpie Best. Deli ham, real dairy cheese, all on fresh baked bread. I think that's enough to make anyone want to buy our sandwiches. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a simple sandwich man. Our ad agency said to get a celebrity sports star to endorse our sandwiches. So I did.
They make me jump higher and run faster. Honest.
Simply Blimpie, for the freshest of everything.
Tired of your humdrum, go-nowhere job? Do you want out? In about 3 weeks, you could change your life. Lewis Ayres Driving Schools offers low-cost training with no hidden fees. And Lewis Ayres offers placement assistance. Earn $35,000 to $40,000 per year to start. Financing is available, so don't delay. In less than a month, you could be on the road to a new, exciting, and high-paying career in the trucking industry. Call today, 801-886-1327. Or you could stay right where you are.
When it comes to buying your next car,
there's someone you already know. With this guy, you're never far from the best in price, selection, and service. Larry H. Miller. After all, you know this guy.
They possess a collective obsession with speed, an addiction to velocity. At Phillips, we too feel this irresistible temptation for performance. That's why the same company who engineers fuel for supersonic fighter planes makes premium gasolines for your car. Super clean gasoline from Phillips 66. Uncompromising performance for you and your car.
Huntsman Center, as the crowd continues to come in on a cold night in Salt Lake City. It should be warm inside, though. Mountain West Conference play. The Utes against the Aztecs. Time now to take a look at our starting lineups. As you see, the San Diego State head coach Steve Fisher, his second season. He's 15-28, with 10 of those wins coming this year. Starting lineup brought to us by Smith's Food and Drug Centers. You take a look at this starting lineup for the San Diego State Aztecs. The big guy, Marcelo Correa, guy from Brazil, who will start in the middle for them. Meantime, for the University of Utah, they'll be under the direction of now acting head coach for the remainder of the season, Dick Hunsaker, 9-6 on the season, but he's got 2 conference wins under his belt as the Utes dispatched Wyoming and UNLV in the last 7 days. And Utah's starting lineup, Chris Burgess in the middle, Phil Cullen at the 1 forward spot, along with Britton Johnson, Spivey, and Jacobson, the starting guard line. And now time for tonight's tip-off. Tip-off brought to us by AT&T Wireless. Wireless from AT&T, your world close at hand. And we are ready to jump center here in the Huntsman Center and get things going. Key game for the Aztecs after the big loss on Saturday night. They need to right this ship. They had high expectations after the preseason, and those expectations have been knocked a little asunder with the loss in the opening game of the conference play to New Mexico at San Diego State. Outside shot is good. The left-hander, the score, and Randy Holcomb gets the Aztecs on the board first.
And Randy Holcomb is a guy who's been averaging double-doubles for this team. In fact, he's set his new school record for consecutive double-double games thus far. He is really the one main talent on the team that they look to carry the scoring load. And in talking to some of the San Diego State officials, they look to really push the ball up and down the floor and play an up-tempo game because they don't feel as confident in their setup offense.
Well, you can see how quickly they want to get the ball down floor. Holcomb again from the outside. This one is short, and a ball knocked out of bounds off Utah. So the Aztecs not shy about putting the ball up, and especially Holcomb, as you point out.
You're fighting real good against BYU, guys. Good job.
Triggering the pass, inbounds, and there's Holcomb again. Baseline drive, and the shot won't go, and the rebound comes down to San Diego State, and now thrown out of bounds. Myron Epps trying to get a little bit too much done himself, perhaps.
No, but Myron Epps is a guy who gets a lot done around the basket. He's a guy that scores most of his points down there deep down and they want to pound the boards hard tonight because they are concerned about the height of the Utes.
He's 6'6" is Epps, but a very athletic 6'6". Now here comes Utah. Inside, good position, and a kick back to Cullen. The open shot won't go, and there to put it back is Britton Johnson. Johnson and Burgess both boxed out very, very well. Made sure that there was going to be no defensive rebound.
Yeah, they both did an excellent job of getting in there, and Britton Johnson just an explosive effort to get up there and get that ball. Let's take a look at it here as the shot's taken by Phil Cullen up to the three-point line. See the ball come off the rim, and 2 guys there. Aztecs doing a poor job of getting their body on somebody down there.
On the other end, Phil Cullen picks up personal foul number 1 and team foul number 1 for Utah. San Diego State will now set up the offense, and as you mentioned, Mark, a little bit concerned about their ability in the pattern offense, and they're working against Utah's man-to-man defense. Correa with Burgess on him. And a foul trying for position and trying to deny position with Britton Johnson. Let's see who the foul is called on. They may go against Jacobson. It does, inside.
And again, let's take a look at that play inside there. There's got to be other Utes getting in there with their hands and cutting down those passing lanes. That was a little too easy.
2 team fouls on Utah. And Fox with the basketball. Back outside to DeAndre Moore. Correa, the young man from Brazil, waits for Epps and passes the ball behind him. Epps did a nice job rubbing off the pick, but there was no pass.
Yeah, Correa just got a little excited and threw the ball there way too soon.
Spivey will run the Utah attack. Jacobson, Britton Johnston. Utes will reverse the basketball. Spivey for three. Off the back of the iron. Burgess keeps it alive, and Utah has an offensive rebound. Cullen from the corner, partially blocked, and picked up by San Diego State.
I like the fact the Utes moved the ball around well down there on offense before taking a shot, which gave them an opportunity to offensive rebound.
And a travel before Jacobson hit Fox. Utah got away a little bit lucky that time.
Correa is going to come out.
Here's a little up fake.
Also in for the Aztecs, number 10.
But I think anticipating the contact was Al Fox, and he walked with the basketball. So the Utes and Aztecs all tied at 2. We've played a little over 2.5 minutes. 1 for 3 for San Diego State, 1 for 5 for Utah. Both teams trying to get into an offensive flow right now. Burgess calling for it over the top, and the Utes instead will go around the horn. Inside now to Burgess. Left hand shot won't go. Putback won't go, but he's fouled.
And that was a great job again of ball movement where the ball went side to side twice before going inside there to Burgess, which is a nice play, a nice post up on his part. But I thought what really set the play up well was the fact that they moved the ball around the perimeter first to spread the defense.
Interesting article in the San Diego paper this week about Burgess, talking about the fact that he has struggled at the free throw line, but the fact that he is very disappointed with the fact that Rick Majerus will not be coaching him, because one of the reasons that he came to Utah was to work with a guy who has the reputation of putting big men in the NBA. You look at the Coca-Cola player card on Chris Burgess, who hits 1 of 2 from the line. But Chris Burgess is a guy who, by his own admission in that newspaper article, said, you know, I've had a hard time getting back into playing shape because he had the bulging disc in his back that kept him out during his redshirt year, and he was worried about getting hurt again, and he said he just hasn't been able to give it 100%, and that's been one of his challenges.
Well, and again, as we go up and watch this block shot, which ended up being a foul on Chris Burgess, I think you're right, Steve, that his main limiting factor has been his own admission, not being able to get in the kind of condition that he needs. That's going to be a bigger determining factor of how he plays, more so than who's coaching him. I think he is getting the playing time, and it's up to him to just make the most of it, as well as listening to Coach Hunsaker and the coaching staff at the Utes, when they still have a very fine staff without Majerus. And, you know, the opportunities are certainly there for him. It's up to him to make the most of them.
Myron Epps at the line. Young man of Tulare, California, ties the game and now gives the Aztecs a 4-3 lead.
Sub for the Aztecs.
And we have a substitution.
Chris Walton.
For San Diego State, Chris Walton comes in. And Utah gets some minor pressure in backcourt. Spivey will look at the trap that doesn't materialize, and Jacobson take a quick shot on the other end that won't go down. Here come the Aztecs looking to make some transition baskets.
And that shot just played right into this fast break at the other end here.
Utes with a defensive rebound.
The Utes survived it. That's why they need to be careful with their shot selection tonight, because this is what San Diego State loves to do. They love to push the ball up the floor, and a quick shot is just going to feed into that.
The Aztecs will play that zone and try and get Utah to take the outside shot. So ball movement and patience, 2 keys. Spivey for 3. Off the rim. Walton with the rebound. The Aztecs look to push it again.
Yeah, but now instead of 2 Utah defenders back, there was 5.
And a steal made by Cullen. Utes with numbers, and the finish by Jacobson. Utah playing a little defense out extended at midcourt.
And again, that was set up by being patient on offense, not taking a quick shot, which gave the Utes the ability to get back and set their defense and come up with that play.
Left-hand shot won't go down by DeAndre Moore. Here come the Utes. So Utah will push the attack. Burgess the trailer over to Spivey. And Utah will set up, and again, they'll look at the zone as they skip pass across. And Cullen has the open jump shot, but it won't go down for him. That's a pretty good look that time by Cullen. He just couldn't finish on the other end. And a great drive by Holcomb for San Diego State. And the Aztecs with a 1-point lead in a seesaw first half.
And I think Coach Huntsman was looking for someone to guard the paint there. Guys came into the backfield or into the back court and covered their man, and yet weren't able to come up with covering the basket.
Spivey underneath, too big for Burgess to handle.
And that's a tough pass from the top of the key down there to low post.
And a timeout has been taken with San Diego State holding a 6-5 lead over Utah. You're watching Mountain West Conference basketball on KJazz TV.
Just like you, we cross things off our daily to-do list. We wonder what we should make for dinner. We stay up late helping kids do homework. We spoil the dog. We're your neighbors. The things that matter to you matter to us. That's why we work to treat you the way we would like to be treated. After all, we know whose needs come first.
Zesty! 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 Zesty!
Want zesty? Try the new Zesty Fiesta Burrito only at Taco Bell. Rice, seasoned beef, topped with a zesty Southwestern sauce, Fiesta salsa, and cheddar cheese. The new Zesty Fiesta Burrito, now just 99 cents.
Puppy dogs and hummingbirds.
Not zesty. Welcome back to the Huntsman Center. Utah against San Diego State, a series that has been owned by the Utes. They've won 21 of 22 in Salt Lake City. Last San Diego State win here was 1982, and Utah's just owned the conference the last 6 years. They're 83-13 for the best record in NCAA Division I conference play. 48-1 at the Huntsman Center. That's the best home record in Division I, and have won 6 straight regular season titles, and they have a 39-game home conference win streak on the line tonight. So you want to talk about dominance. Now, conversely, San Diego State has not won a Mountain West Conference game. Remember, this is only a 2-year-old conference. Their last conference win came in the Western Athletic Conference, February 27th, 1999, against San Jose State University. So San Diego State's program is on the mend. But again, to just show you how far in need of mending it was, that graphic speaks volumes.
Well, it does, and on the behalf of the Utes, they, of course, have to be concerned. They don't want to be the start of the reversal of that trend. So they have to be concerned tonight about coming out and playing hard and playing solid because, again, this is a talented San Diego State team, and the Utes have to maintain their intensity throughout the evening.
Over the top for Holcomb. Nate Althoff, who's checked into the lineup, goes to Jeff Johnson, who also checked in for Utah after the timeout.
And a nice heads-up play by Nate Althoff there, watching the ball and going up and getting a nice steal.
Turnovers 5-1. San Diego State has the dubious distinction of being on top of those numbers. They also lead on the scoreboard by 1 as Jacobson hoists a 3, and the offensive rebound tapped out to Bradley by Phil Cullen.
The Utes again continuing to attack in there on the offensive boards.
Jacobson again. This time he hits the 3.
Patience pays off once again.
5 for Jacobson. An 8-6 lead for the Utes. Fox outside to Holcomb. Holcomb looks to spin. He's a left-hander. Uses glass. Nice job by Jeff Johnson just maintaining body position.
He did. He did a nice job keeping him out on the floor and not allowing him to go into the low post.
Althoff calls for it inside. He'll need to reset as Utah swings the ball again. Aztecs still in the zone. And the Utes will go around the horn now. Nate Althoff with the turnaround jump shot, a little strong. And Epps fights for the offensive rebound, and it comes off Utah.
Yeah, good job by the Utes moving the ball around the horn a little bit there again. Unfortunately, Nate took that baseline jumper there and just a little too strong with it, like I said.
So DeAndre Moore comes back in. Kovacic checking out for San Diego State. Cullen will challenge the shot that goes awry, and there's Bradley for the rebound. Bradley's lead pass to Jacobson. Inside Althoff had position and is fouled. Nate establishing position, and Marcelo Correa with the foul. Number 1.
A nice pass in there by Nick Jacobson, and Althoff maintaining position and forcing the defense to foul him.
And Bradley looking to trigger inbounds. Utah with an 8-6 lead. Jeff Johnson back outside now. Jacobson will pull it out for Utah. And the Utes with the new shot clock. Jeff Johnson has a lane. Johnson shoots, scores, and a whistle after the basket, score the basket. And the foul is called on Johnson, but it was after the basket. The ball had left his hand.
Well, and against the zone, they did a nice job moving the ball around, and then Jeff Johnson found the seam and drove right down the middle.
Good call by the official, and a nice basket, though, by Jeff Johnson. 10-6 Utah lead. Utes with 4 team fouls. San Diego State just 2. Ball stripped from Correa, but a foul. Bradley, I think, is going to be the man with the hands in there. Maybe Cullen.
Foul Utes, number 40, Phil Cullen.
Yep, Phil Cullen.
Personal, team foul number 5.
Hey, Elvis, you're making that up! You're making it up, Elvis!
Well, and here we'll take a look at it as Phil Cullen just turns around and reaches in, trying to grab that ball away. That's such a tough temptation when the ball's going behind you like that.
It's the second foul, too, on Phil Cullen. Normally he would sit, and he may be, because Britton Johnson is at the scorer's table. And yeah, Phil Cullen will go to the bench now. And here comes Britton Johnson.
But give Phil Cullen credit. He played an excellent first 8 minutes of the game here, 7.5 minutes, with a lot of great hustle plays out there.
He's got 3 rebounds. It's Correa with the second free throw. And it's a 10-8 game.
11, David Abramowitz, and number 34, Eric Sanders.
Abramowitz and Sanders checking into the San Diego State lineup. There's David Abramowitz from Tijuana, Mexico. And as you pointed out before we went on the air, Mark, not a lot of guys born in Tijuana playing major college basketball. But there's not a lot of guys, I would imagine, from Tijuana with the last name Abramowitz either. Mark Jackson comes into the Utah lineup.
This is true.
When you think of Hispanic names, that's not one that just rolls off the tongue.
No, there's probably a story behind it.
I'm sure there is. Mark Jackson into the Utah lineup. At the elbow, Jeff Johnson's shot doesn't draw anything, and Epps brings it down. Here come the Aztecs. Utes do a good job getting back as San Diego State wants to push it.
Good job by Nate Althoff cutting off Epps, driving to the basket.
A false count from the crowd on the shot clock here. And the shot is up and good. Jim Robban, who played at Dixie Junior College, scores the basket. Young man out of Las Vegas, Nevada, played at Dixie and went to San Diego State, and he ties this game at 10. A look at the field goal percentages. Utah shooting a little over 25%, San Diego State at 33%. But we're tied at 10. Aztecs look to push it again. Sanders works inside, and despite being challenged by both Britton Johnson and Nate Althoff, somehow got it up on the glass and it went in.
Yeah, Sanders showing good poise down there, just getting up in between the defenders and putting the ball up off the glass.
Jackson has his pass slapped away, and he'll regroup again. Jackson for 3. Off the back of the iron. Here come the Aztecs. They want to run. Utes do a good job getting back. And Jackson, a nice job taking the charge for more. And a turnover to San Diego State.
He did take a hard charge there as well.
Offensive foul and a whistle and a horn. Timeout is taken on the floor. 10:48 remaining in the first half. The Aztecs go inside and have a 12-10 lead over the Utes.
The tension of a court show.
You can't just walk all over me anymore.
The emotion of a talk show.
She never believed that I could die.
The excitement of a game show.
$2,000 in favor of the accuser.
It's not about small claims. It's about right and wrong.
That is my judgment.
Moral court.
Weekdays at noon on KJazz TV.
Introducing China Lily's, the newest place in Utah for fine Chinese cuisine and Mongolian barbecue. China Lily's now open at Jordan Commons, 9400 South State Street.
Time for new furniture? Then it's time for R.C. Willey. R.C. Willey offers the largest selection of bedding found anywhere. Serta, Spring Air, and Simmons. So get into R.C. Willey. Just what you're looking for in a furniture store, but you better hurry.
Would you trust this cute little nose, these itchy eyes, these aching muscles to just any care product? You don't have to. Ask your pharmacist about Perfect Choice. Each formula is created to match the quality and integrity of national brands, and yet they cost less. They're guaranteed to give your family the care every sore throat and every little elbow deserves. Perfect Choice. Your choice for exceptional quality. Available at Smith's.
That is Karen Jackson, the mother of Ute player Mark Jackson, who is waging her own battle against cancer. It's a well-chronicled story this past week, how Rick Majerus heard of her battle and took a special interest in her prior to his own health problems, and then Karen reciprocated with a visit to Rick in the hospital. He said that meant a lot to him. They formed a bond, and they're both pulling for each other. And Karen, I'm sure tonight, pulling for her son, Mark Jackson, who is in the Utah lineup right now. Young man out of Olympus High School. And Utah, there you look at Mark Jackson's season numbers, averaging just over 1 point a game and playing about 5 minutes, getting his feet wet here at Utah. And the Utes and Aztecs here in the first half, and Utah trailing 12-10. And Mark, San Diego State has kind of found a home maybe inside, and maybe more importantly, Utah's not solved the zone yet that they've faced against San Diego State.
No, they've done a reasonable job, though. They continue to move the ball around, but against the zone, it is difficult to score and score a lot of points quickly. So the Aztecs are still continuing to hang in there at the other end of the floor as well offensively by continuing to work against the man-to-man press of the and man-to-man defense of the Utes.
Trace Caton into the Utah lineup, and a whistle halts play. There'll be a foul on San Diego State, and an opportunity to remind you that tonight's University of Utah game is being brought to you in part by AAA of Utah. For peace of mind on the road, call AAA of Utah, the number 1-800-JOIN-AAA today. Foul was on David Abramowitz, and there's a shot up and good by Britton Johnson, and Utah has tied this game at 12.
And a nice job by Britton Johnson recognizing that the ball was having difficulty getting inbounds and coming right back to it and making a tough shot against some good defense there.
Holcomb pull-up jumper is short. And Bradley, a nice job chasing down the offensive rebound. Jackson outside as Britton Johnson flashed high post for a moment. And now the Utes will work back around the horn outside against this zone. Utah's spacing not real good right now. Britton Johnson came over and Althoff didn't clear. They kind of jammed things up offensively. But again, the key for Utah is going to be to hit those shots against that zone.
Yeah, but I like to see with the Utes, though, is that thus far they're playing, I think, pretty much under control. They're not getting too crazy out there. They're playing with good intensity. They just have to continue to get out there and get a hand up.
Robin for three. You're right, Mark. And when they're getting the opportunity at an early offensive basket, if it closes down, they're not forcing the issue, but pulling it back out again.
Yeah, exactly right, Steve.
Johnson looks inside. Now we go to Caton, and wide open on the far side for the three that won't go down was Bradley. There is big. Well, Nate was in the middle there. He liked it, and Trace Caton put it back. But you see San Diego State's propensity to push the ball the other way. I think was evidenced on that play as we're going to look at the basket.
Again, as you see, Trace Caton's going to fly in here and grab this ball off and put it right back up without coming down. Nice heads-up play. But again, you're right, Steve. They took the ball out of the basket, got it out of bounds, threw it in quickly, and pushed it up the floor before the Utes really had time to get their defense reset.
And Nate comes back, and he commits the foul. He's got to come back and help, and Holcomb goes to the line.
Well, that's the center's job, be the last line of defense.
Now look at our Coca-Cola player card on Randy Holcomb, junior out of Chicago, Illinois. Athletic guy at 6'9" and 219.
And he is their main man who's just hasn't quite got warmed up yet here tonight.
Holcomb missing at the line on the first. He's 2 of 5 from the field and 0 of 4 from the line, just 4 points. Much better looking shot, and it goes in. And Correa. Holcomb goes out, and Chris Walton replaces him in the San Diego State lineup. And Pusey comes into the Utah lineup along with Burgess. Jackson will face some backcourt pressure from Moore. Utes with good patience, trying to move that zone around a little bit. Get everybody to overshift. You might get something on the offside. Shot clock approaching 10, but the Utes again showing good patience, Mark.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. They're taking their time, see what they can find.
And they get the corner shot from Caton, and the patience pays off.
The patience pays off, and the other thing you've achieved in this, Steve, is that you made the Aztecs play defense for 35 seconds.
Yeah, and a very a nice-looking shot, a very short clock. You might be tempted to panic and try and create something, go inside. Utah didn't do it, and maybe that defense just let down for those last 3-4 seconds of the shot clock.
Well, but what it also does, Steve, is it really takes a little wind out of their legs as they start trying to come back down the other end and push the ball. The longer you play defense, the less likely you are going to have to deal with the fast break and pushing the ball up the other floor at the other end.
Well, you saw Utah, the graphic, 2 of 12 from three-point range. Chris Burgess goes down holding his left ankle.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what happened there, but certainly looked like he rolled it a little bit.
It looked like he was trying to back up and get into transition, and he went down, grabbing that left ankle.
Looks like he's got his ankle braces on, though, probably his tape, so hopefully it won't be too bad once he gets over that initial shock.
Yeah, it never feels good.
That searing pain. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. Yep, he just rolled it to the outside there.
Looked like he stepped on somebody else's foot, and that you've been there, you know the feeling.
Yes, that sharp searing pain that goes through your body like you've been shot.
Yeah, no tape job will protect you from it completely, but it may protect you from serious damage to it.
That's right, hopefully minimize it, so maybe they can get him up and get him back in the locker room and retighten that tape up.
They'll work on him a little, and an opportunity for a program promotion here to let you know that Star Trek Voyager is staying right here on KJazz TV. You can still catch your favorite past episodes of Star Trek Voyager weeknights at 9. Tune in and see the continuing Voyager saga. It's mayhem in space with Star Trek Voyager. That's weeknights at 9 on KJazz TV. Still working on the ankle of Chris Burgess, and with obvious discomfort. And he's very gingerly stepping on it.
Timeout now on the floor, timeout.
And a timeout is taken as Chris Burgess will head towards the Ute bench and perhaps the locker room. Score, Utah 17, San Diego State 16. Back in a moment.
Go on, just admit it.
I thought Chuckarama was just a nice place to take the family. Then I started getting these cravings.
My excuse is that I'd always go with my parents, but they moved to Florida 5 years ago.
Go on, just admit it.
I'm Dustin, and I'm hooked on Chuckarama.
The choice is yours at Chuckarama.
Anybody want to do lunch?
When it comes to buying your next car, there's someone you already know. With this guy, you're never far from the best in price, selection, and service. Larry H. Miller. After all, you know this guy.
It seems like we're getting less and less control.
Health is everything. If you're not healthy, you're not happy.
I want a doctor that doesn't stick me in a waiting room for hours.
What I want from my health care plan is flexibility,
Consistency and integrity.
Be there when the pressure's on.
Health insurance is vital in today's business market. We have 12 employees, and it's very important to cover every one of them.
It's even more important to have control in your health care.
I'm a control kind of person.
The 16-month-old baby is in control at my house.
It's your life. It's your health. Take control.
Back in the Huntsman Center, Utah leads San Diego State 17-16. And a reminder, our next television game, Mountain West Conference play, it will be a road game a week from tonight as we go to Fort Collins as Utah takes on Colorado State. I'll be joined by Thurl Bailey for that one. That's next Monday, 7 o'clock, the 22nd, as the Utes and Rams tip it up in Fort Collins at 7. So we hope you join us then. Meantime, Chris Burgess headed for the Utah locker room a moment ago after apparently rolling a left ankle. One can only hope for Utah that it is nothing more serious than perhaps just a tweak of that ankle. But he did go in to get it looked at. And we are back to play as Pusey is in the Utah lineup along with Althoff and Jeff Johnson and Jackson and Caton.
With Phil Collin with 2 fouls, too. I think Coach Hunsaker decided to go with Mike Pusey. See if he can get something going there while Chris Burgess to see if they can get him put back together.
Jackson's 3 off the mark. Aztecs come down. Holcomb working against Caton, and he walked with the basketball. Trace Caton, a nice job just kind of standing his ground. Again, similar to what Johnson did on this side or a little earlier, just straighten the body, put the hands straight in the air, stand your ground.
Well, the Utes put a high priority on individual kind of a defensive accountability there where they really work hard on that one-on-one defense, and it pays off.
And it's paid off in turnovers, 7-1. The Aztecs with 7 turnovers.
And the Utes are doing a nice job of taking care of the ball tonight and being very patient. You know, that I'm sure they'd like to be ahead by a few more points, but and just as we say that, it goes out of bounds.
Utah with just 1 turnover. Throughout the game, our score update is brought to you by Regions Blue Cross Blue Shield of Utah, offering more strength, more choice, more control for you. Jacobson coming in, replacing Jeff Johnson in the Utah lineup. Ball triggered in by Jackson to Jacobson. Well, I tell you, when you've got Jackson, Jacobson, and the pair of Johnsons on the floor.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacobson with the 3-point basket. And Utah's lead has been expanded to 4.
And a nice job again, rotating the ball off the out-of-bounds play.
Fox outside, Jacobson on him defensively. Utes extend that man-to-man defense. There's a whistle against Pusey inside. Pusey and Correa, a couple of big bodies working on each other.
Just kind of got tied up there in the middle. As we take a look at Jacobson again coming around and shooting that 3-pointer.
Nice catch and shoot.
And here we got a foul at the other end with Pusey and Correa just kind of getting tied up with each other. I don't know. I don't like to see calls like that, you know. It happens.
Just working for position.
Like those officials that talk to you instead of blow the whistle. You know, like, hey, guys, knock it off.
Correa with a free throw that won't go down. And Pusey chases down the defensive rebound, rather. And here come the Utes. They hold a 4-point lead and a chance to expand on that as we go inside 6:20 left in the first half.
San Diego State continuing to stay in the zone defense.
Well, I think, you know, Utah's shooting percentage has come up now to 33%, and I think as the percentage comes up, the odds on San Diego State staying in that zone go down. But I think they know that there are a couple of tough individual matchups. Well, what a great dish off to big Nate Althoff by Jackson in Utah with a wonderful basket inside.
And again, that was set up by the patience of moving the ball back and forth and spreading that zone.
Nate Althoff with his first 2 points of the night. And Utah has a 6-point lead. Utah on a 10-1 scoring run. They take a 22-16 lead. Ball dug out by Jackson, regained again by San Diego State. Utes playing defense, 4 on the shot clock. The shot goes up late. Collision underneath, no call, and Althoff scoops the rebound. Now, Pusey and Correa are more interested in working on each other, and Nate came in, swooped, and took the defensive glass.
Yeah, but again, the Utes did a nice job of controlling the paint there and not allowing the Aztecs to penetrate.
Jackson penetrates, kicks out. Jacobson, shot, and a rebound off to Caton. Utes controlling the glass as well. Here come the Aztecs, but the Utes getting back. All 5 Utes back in defense. And a hook and a foul inside against San Diego State. Holcomb trying to get position, hooked the defender. The official picked it up.
And they were making Randy Holcomb work tonight. And he's a guy that's used to having his way down there at low post, and the Utes are doing a nice job defensively on him thus far. And it's with Trace Caton, who has drawn that defensive assignment. Caton gives up 5 inches at 6'4" to the 6'9" Holcomb, but he has done a good job working him with the body. Well, I think the Utes are playing with a great amount of defensive intensity tonight. They're really doing a good job at that end of the floor, staying very active. One of the Utah Dodge keys, of course, was to maintain the intensity they showed against Wyoming and UNLV. And I think, as coaches will always tell you, it starts on the defensive end, and Utah has done a good job in the last 2 conference games. Bradley takes the open jump shot, makes San Diego State pay, and the Utes lead by 8. Saved by Robin. And a defensive board to Utah. Bradley did a nice job that last time down the floor. Taking his man, making a little up and under move, and dropping down the nice jumper. Nate Althoff inside for his 2nd field goal, and Utah has expanded the lead to 10. And give Nick Jacobson credit on that one for the nice entry pass. So Utah's guards looking for the bigs inside, and Althoff has made them pay. Holcomb off the iron. Utes size and resolve starting to exert itself now. Utes wait for Althoff to come down the floor. I think Nate's breathing a little heavy. And a 20-second timeout has been taken by Dick Hunsaker. 20-second timeout. And now it's going to be a full timeout. So a full timeout as Utah has taken a 10-point lead. Nate Althoff goes to the bench feeling the pain, but he's feeling the gain inside with 2 easy baskets from Jackson on this play with authority, and we'll be back.
Introducing AT&T Digital PocketNet service. Free unlimited access to the wireless internet that lets you trade stocks, stay up on sports,
15 love,
and even keep up with world news. It's technology that lets you divide and conquer. So while you may be just one person, you can be in more than one place at one time. Wireless from AT&T. Your world, close at hand.
When it looks like winter is here to stay, here's something that should warm the cockles of your heart. It's the best minivan ever. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan. With available all-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, and the most powerful engine you can get in a minivan, this Caravan can give you an entirely different outlook. Now get up to $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Caravans.
At McDonald's, we give you a reason to smile every time. Like serving up our 2 for $2 deals. Get 2 mouth-watering Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwiches for just $2. Or 2 classic Big Mac sandwiches for just $2. Choose a Quarter Pounder with cheese and a Big Mac if you like. Only $2. With McDonald's 2 for $2 deals, I know you're smiling. Here's more 2 for $2 at McDonald's. You can also get 2 medium fries or 2 medium-sized soft drinks for just $2. Mix it, match.
Back, everybody. We do have an update on Chris Burgess, who has badly sprained his left ankle. We're going to take another look at that play here and watch him over here as he comes down right about in here with his ankle. Let's take a look at that. We'll see if we can zero in on it a little bit here. as he goes after this block shot and then turns, and right there his ankle goes down, and it's apparently sprained enough where he will not be back tonight. They will take x-rays later on to determine if there's any other further damage, but that is a loss for the Utes.
Chalkboard brought to us by the Larry H. Miller Auto Dealerships, where we're doing whatever it takes to provide an atmosphere of total customer satisfaction. So not good news for Utah. You got Phil Cullen on the bench with 2 personal fouls, and you got another big man who's gone for the evening. The good news, however, is the scoreboard. Utah with a 26-16 lead, 3:09 remaining here in the first half.
And the Utes continue to get a well-rounded effort, which has been kind of their theme the last 2 or 3 games, where a lot of guys have come in and stepped up and played well, and that has to make Coach Hunsaker happy.
Aztecs still in that zone defense, but Utah has done a really good job of late of finding the open man. There's Bradley. That'll make you come out of the zone in a hurry. He hits the 3-pointer outside, and Utah has opened up a 13-point margin.
And what's so nice about that, too, is it's within the scope of the offense, where they've moved the ball around a little bit, and he felt the opportunity there and knocked it down.
Utah's shooting percentage is at 40%. The Aztecs at 29.4. So Utah's defense paying dividends. And a whistle stops play. Britton Johnson picks up his first personal foul. Steve Fisher, the head coach, who won a national championship at Michigan. He's trying to turn the program around at San Diego State.
I would think the weather is probably a little bit better factor down there in San Diego than it was in Michigan.
I would think so too. Eric Sanders at the line, misses the front end of the 1-on-1, won't get the bonus, and the Utes pull the ball off.
If I was going to pick a place to go rebuild the program, San Diego would be it.
I think I'd have an easier time recruiting too. Bradley for 3. This one won't go. Britton Johnson fights for a rebound, and he's fouled. He gets, he fouls. He gets hit in the face, but Britton Johnson going hard to the offensive glass, picks up the personal foul.
Well, let's see if we can take another look at it here. See Britton Johnson on the rebound, getting a little swipe across the left eye there.
I guess it was that right arm extended that caused the foul, trying to hold off the other rebounder. He certainly came out worse for wear, and Pusey will check in for Britton Johnson, who has 2 personals.
And he comes ready prepared with the proper eyewear to avoid that kind of problem.
Well, he's still got the holes in the eyes, but he's not going to get his nose broken again, that's for sure. Myron Epps at the free throw line. 2 points, both of them coming from the line. Now he has 3 for 3. And he'll get the bonus. So Roban with 5 and Holcomb with 5, the leading scorers for San Diego State. For Utah, Jacobson has 8 points to lead the Utes, and then you have Bradley and Trace Caton with 5 apiece. Epps shot is short, rebound comes off to Utah. Allred comes in and clears the board to Bradley, and the Utes will take it down floor as we approach 2 minutes left here in the first half. Utah with a 12-point lead. You see the scoring run for the Utes, 17-2. Aztecs offense had just gone completely dry. Jacobson for 3. It's a 20-2 run. And a 15-point Ute lead.
I think they're feeling it now.
And a timeout is taken, a 20-second timeout has been taken by Steve Fisher, who says, I got to stop the bleeding a little bit. 30-second timeout taken by San Diego State, brought to us by Mount Olympus Spring Water, pure and natural, the first choice of Utah since 1898. And time to remind you that when game shows were all the rage, you remember that? Well, in the new millennium, there's a whole new type of game show. Join KJAZ TV weeknights at 5 and 11:30 for Street Smarts. That's what the new face of game shows look like. That's Street Smarts weeknight at 5 and 11:30 only on KJAZ TV. So the Aztecs, Mark, I would say in danger of being blown out, but they are in danger of losing touch. They're 15 points down right now.
Yeah, the Utes have done a nice job of wearing them down defensively, and it's they've had, well, look at that, no field goals in the last 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So they continue to struggle. They're 5 of 17 from the floor right now, which is about 29%, and still looking for an answer to the Ute defense.
Yeah, the Utes are really tightened up that defense. And I'm sure the Aztecs just frustrated trying to find something to do. Nice help by Allred, jumped out on the ball, double-teamed the ball, and then got back to his man Epps.
Well, I think the discipline Utah showed on offense has really helped control the Aztec fast break.
Nice step over by Pusey, Mark, on the baseline of Correa. Holcomb's shot just beats the shot clock. Just barely gets there in time.
But I think the Utes have done a nice job by moving the ball around. They've really taken the Aztecs a little bit out of their game of wanting to push the ball and forcing them into a setup offense, which they're obviously not as comfortable with.
Well, you talked about that early and said that the coaching staff was a little concerned. They wanted some transition baskets because they knew that they would be facing the teeth of that Utah defense. Correa fouls.
And Walton in.
And Pusey will go to the free throw line for Utah. Correa comes out. And he'll be replaced by Chris Walton in that San Diego State lineup. Meantime, for Pusey, he is scoreless tonight. He has not shot a field goal or a free throw. Young man out of Roy.
1-1.
And will not get the bonus. So neither team really being able to capitalize on the fact that they're in the 1-1. And we're inside a minute. Epps squares. And Allred forces him around, but he made Epps work, and Epps does a nice job.
He did a nice job of turning and facing up. Little stutter step across the key, using the basket as protection to go up on the other side.
Utah with an 11-point lead. So that was the first field goal for San Diego State in almost 8 minutes. Jacobson outside. No, this time it won't go for it. And Jacobson is 4 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 6 from three-point line. And I always maintain 50% from the three-point line is like 75 from the two, because you get 1.5 times the points.
Well, again, the Utes don't want to give up anything easy here.
No, we're approaching.
Good stand here for the last 15 seconds.
Approaching 10 on the game clock. Utah with an 11-point lead, and Jacobson extends the defense. There is stolen away by Jeff Johnson, who throws the desperation shot that falls short. You better get into your offense a lot sooner than 6 seconds against Utah if you're going to score on the last possession of a half. So the Utes will walk off the floor with a 32-21 lead. They held San Diego State without a field goal for nearly 8 minutes at the close of this first half. And this Utah crowd has a lot to cheer about as they've seen their team turn things around. University of Utah with a 32-21 lead over the Aztecs here at the half.
A mysterious romance
I couldn't get you out of my mind.
could suddenly end
It's the Tracers. They've come to take me back.
with the kiss of death. Star Trek Voyager.
Monday on KJazz TV.
Oh, God.
If the shirt fits,
Morning, Doc.
it's lonely at the bottom.
Somebody hold me.
On Frasier.
Monday at 10:30 on KJazz TV.
Hey, boy, wanna go for a little walk? Get a little exercise.
Again? Hi, Steve.
Hi, Mrs. Wilson.
I didn't expect to see you this morning.
Yeah, right. You call this exercise? Hey, Steve! This is getting my heart rate up. Oh, yeah, he loves these walks. Don't you, boy? Sure. Good cardio. Feel better? Way better. Now it's my turn. Now that's a workout. Hey, Steve! Come on, boy. Want to go for a walk? Get real. Get a treadmill.
Visit NordicTrack.com for the entire line of Nordic Track treadmills.
When it comes to buying your next car, there's someone you already know. With this guy, you're never far from the best in price, selection, and service. Larry H. Miller. After all, you know this guy.
Would you trust this cute little nose, these itchy eyes, these aching muscles to just any care product? You don't have to. Ask your pharmacist about Perfect Choice. Each formula is created to match the quality and integrity of national brands, and yet they cost less. They're guaranteed to give your family the care every sore throat and every little elbow deserves. Perfect Choice. Your choice for exceptional quality. Available at Smith's.
32-21, University of Utah leading San Diego State by 11 at the break. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Rickard, and welcome into the KJAZ studios. This is our Ute halftime report, and we are going to start tonight by taking you to the NBA, where it's already been quite a week for the Utah Jazz. It all started this past Saturday during Utah's 111-103 victory over the defending NBA champion Lakers. Near the end of the game, Jazz coach Jerry Sloan, center Greg Ostertag exchanged angry words. After the game, Ostertag left the arena before his required stay on an exercise bike. Sunday, he skipped practice and then demanded a trade. This morning, Sloan and Tag made up, but not before the team suspended Tag for tonight's game against the Houston Rockets. Once the game started, business as usual for Houston. Stevie Francis, quick step, pretty reverse, up and under. It's a 7-point lead in the first quarter for Houston, but the Jazz have some fancy footwork of their own. Watch John Starks go baseline. He'll come up with a pretty reverse. Right now, it's tied at 30 with 4 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Now, later tonight, BYU hosts Nevada, Las Vegas at the Marriott Center in Provo. Now, the news for Vegas is that former Celtics coach Rick Pitino has put the school on hold until after the end of this season. Reports say the Rebels want Pitino to take over the program, but it means now Max Good will finish the year as the UNLV coach. As for the Cougars, guard Terrell Leday has been named the Mountain West Player of the Week. He was 5 of 6 from downtown, scored 24 points in only 22 minutes as the Cougars crushed San Diego State 79-50. Now, he and coach Steve Cleveland are hoping that win will help get them ready for tonight's game.
But we had lots of energy, played 30 great minutes of basketball. I was really proud of them. It's nice to be able to rest some of the guys, too, because Monday night's game is going to be a big ball game for us.
It's going to be a battle. I've seen a little bit of the game today, and they're playing pretty well. And we're playing pretty well, too, so it's going to be a good battle.
That game between BYU and Nevada, Las Vegas starts at 10 tonight. Now on the top 25 scoreboard this evening, number 12 Georgetown has defeated Seton Hall 99-91, and number 23 Texas is hosting number 13 Connecticut. UConn leads by 1 in the first half of play. Coming up next, we'll head to the Crimson Corner. We'll take a dip in the pool. Don't go away.
The program has a great history and tradition behind it, and you know, all those factors add up into a really, really positive approach for any young coach coming in and to build a program around.
Calling the commander of the Nitrogen Squadron.
Remember all the great science fiction shows you watched when you were a kid? Remember how easy they communicated with each other?
No use, I can't get it.
The future is now. Nextel, how business gets done. Orion Wireless, Nextel authorized representative.
An ordinary lemon. Something you never want when you buy a car. And something you'll never get at Hinckley Dodge. Hinckley Dodge in Salt Lake and Ogden, where Dodge is all we do. Aspirin. Something you'll never need when you get your car serviced at Hinckley Dodge. Because we're the home of no headache service. Hinckley Dodge in Salt Lake and Ogden, where Dodge is all we do.
There was a time when there were no dinosaurs on Sinclair stations or products. But today, Sinclair dinosaurs are everywhere, from the Great Plains to the Rocky Mountains. While Sinclair stations now have modern convenience stores and automated pumps, Sinclair continues an 80-year tradition of delivering gasoline and oil products that are simply unbeatable in quality and performance. So look for the sign of the big green dinosaur and stop in today at Sinclair.
The mountain. Eternal. Inspiring. Provider of life. Spring water for life. Mount Olympus Waters. First in thirst at every athletic event.
Jeff Rickard back in the KJAZ studios as the Ute halftime report rolls on. You know, it's been a big season of change for the Utah swimming and diving team this year. The Utes have an entirely new coaching staff, and as Audrey Piper tells us in tonight's Crimson Corner, new blood is just what this program needed.
It's all about making adjustments attitude-wise and work ethic-wise.
This is Michael Litzinger, the new head coach of Utah's swimming and diving program.
Don't swim easy, do 125.
He's prepared to take the Utes to the next level.
We're working real hard and trying to point everything towards the conference championships, but everybody from the administration down to the swimmers and divers have been really accepting about a new format, a new administration, and a new change. So it's been really exciting along the way.
He's a lot different. He's intense. He's very intense. He's very knowledgeable, knows a lot about the sport.
I love how he's just on the deck and enthusiastic and outgoing.
Along with his enthusiasm, Litzinger brings to Utah a new coaching philosophy and training program.
We really implemented a rigorous dryland and weightlifting program, along with some real good specialization towards their primary events.
It's a totally new program, so like in every way. I think it helps a lot. Our aerobic base, and it's definitely shown in the water.
I've been kind of doing the same thing my whole life, swimming, and just time for a change, which has helped a lot.
I've been swimming a lot faster this year than I have in years past.
Utah swimming and diving has been in a slump the last couple of years, so change is exactly what this team needed.
We were kind of down last year, not a good attitude all around. This year we're upbeat and we're just focused a lot more.
This year I'm the only women's diver, and the women's swim team really came together and supported me, and we really became close this year. It's really awesome.
The Utes are expected to finish in the Mountain West around the middle of the pack, but the future is bright for this resurging program.
The U's got a lot of potential. The facilities are great. As I said, the administration's been wonderful, and they know what direction we want to go athletically and academically, and we've got full support, and it's couldn't be in a better spot.
With the Crimson Corner, I'm Audrey Piper.
That'll do it for our Ute halftime report. Second half is coming up next. Utes leading San Diego State by 11. Mark and Steve up next.
Go on, just admit it.
I thought Chuckarama was just a nice place to take the family. Then I started getting these cravings.
My excuse is that I'd always go with my parents, but they moved to Florida 5 years ago.
Go on, just admit it.
I'm Dustin, and I'm hooked on Chuckarama.
The choice is yours at Chuckarama.
Anybody want to do lunch?
Just like you, we wonder about our children's future. We think dreams are worth chasing. We take pleasure in simple things. We count the days till summer. We're your neighbors. The things that matter to you matter to us. That's why we work to treat you the way we would like to be treated. After all, we know whose needs come first.
When it looks like winter is here to stay, here's something that should warm the cockles of your heart. It's the best minivan ever. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan. With available all-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, and the most powerful engine you can get in a minivan, this Caravan can give you an entirely different outlook. Now get up to $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Caravans.
After 14 seasons of pro ball, I know the value of staying in shape. Fitness counts, whether you're playing for a championship or just playing at home with the kids. And Upper Limit has all the top-name fitness equipment you'll ever need.
Save on true treadmills during Upper Limit's holiday sale. Try the new 550, the widest, smoothest running home treadmill you can buy, and the only one with an adjustable cushioning system. Detour on 33rd South to 9th West and save.
Upper Limit, Utah's largest fitness store. Salt Lake and Orem.
Utah with a 32-21 bulge at halftime here in the Huntsman Center over San Diego State. Welcome back, everybody. Steve Brown along with Mark Eaton, and it was that last probably 6-7 minutes of the first half that really made the difference, and it certainly turned the numbers around too. Let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to us by First Security Bank, giving 110%. Utah elevated their shooting percentage to nearly 40%, They were hovering in the 20s for a while, and San Diego State got a couple of late field goals to beat 37%. But I want to look at the last two columns, Mark, the assists and turnovers, because we've talked about assist-to-turnover ratio for Utah being upside down all year. Tonight, it certainly isn't.
No, you're right, Steve. Only one turnover in the first half for the Utes, which is almost inconceivable that they wouldn't turn it over at least one or two more times than that. But a great job by the Utes taking care of the ball, as well as 9 assists. They're doing a great job of moving the ball from side to side, working for the open shot, penetrating, and they're making the San Diego State Aztecs pay defensively. But the 9 assists are a huge stat.
Well, let's take a look at our University of Utah Mountain West Conference standings, brought to us by Hinckley Dodge, where Dodge is always sell. Locations in Ogden and Salt Lake. You see Utah and New Mexico atop the standings with a pair of wins. BYU at 1-0, and San Diego State has struggled, losing to both New Mexico in the opener and that 29-point loss to Brigham Young on Saturday. They played awful against BYU.
Well, they did, Steve, but again, they're a team that's in transition, as you said. They started off with a very strong preseason. Now they just kind of have to get that energy back again and come up with some wins here in the Mountain West Conference, which I think is just in short order.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more of the second half of Utah San Diego State Mountain West Conference basketball right after these messages.
The best thing about life is my freedom.
I would love to have the freedom to choose my own doctor.
Without health, what else do you have?
I worry about keeping my family safe and healthy. Control is very important.
I want a doctor who knows what he's doing and who's able to communicate that.
Somebody who goes along well with my personality, who knows me.
Someone that can relate to me.
What I want from my doctor is a clean bill of health.
If you have a positive attitude, you always have fun.
Be a leader, make your own decisions. I want to be the one calling the shot.
Hey, it's my life.
It's your life. It's your health. Take control.
Hi, I'm Tony Conza, inventor of the Blimpie Best. Deli ham, real dairy cheese, all on fresh-baked bread. I think that's enough to make anyone want to buy our sandwiches. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a simple sandwich man. Our ad agency said to get a celebrity sports star to endorse our sandwiches. So I did.
They make me jump higher and run faster. Honest.
Simply Blimpie, for the freshest of everything.
Time for new furniture? Then it's time for R.C. Willey. R.C. Willey offers the largest selection of bedding found anywhere. Serta, Spring Air, and Simmons. So get into R.C. Willey. Just what you're looking for in a furniture store, but you better hurry.
This University of Utah sports presentation is brought to you in part by R.C. Willey. Nobody beats R.C. Willey. Nobody. Larry H. Miller Dealerships. You know this guy. McDonald's. We love to see you smile. And by your Utah Dodge dealers. Dodge different.
Utah by 11 at 32-21 as we get set to start the second half. Meantime, the Utah Jazz playing tonight in the Delta Center at the half. Jazz and Rockets all tied up at 42. And a chance to remind you our next Jazz telecast right here on KJazz TV comes your way on Wednesday night as the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett and company, are in the house. A 6 o'clock start, 5:30 Jazz tonight. That's Wednesday night. Please note that on your schedule. The early start time, 5:30 Jazz tonight. Jazz take on the T-Wolves in the Delta Center. Well, we're ready to get back to play here. Mark Eaton, University of Utah, with a great momentum surge at the end of that first half. They really put the hammer down here on San Diego State. Holcomb with just 7 points. So the Utes did a good job holding him in check.
Yeah, they have, Steve, and the Utes' big concern now, of course, the beginning of the second half is to keep up that energy and keep that momentum going and not have any letdowns just because you have a 11-point lead.
Our second half brought to you by AT&T. Wireless from AT&T, your world close at hand.
Nate
inside, yeah, Nate with a nice move.
And Nate doing a nice job of posting up and just seeing the opportunities and taking advantage of them.
But Mark, that's where he ended the first half. He got the 2 big baskets inside for Utah. And the guards doing a great job looking for it.
Well, if you have to remember, last year, I believe it was against San Diego State that he had his career high of 22 points.
And the first game he had 20, so he averaged 21 points against these guys. He likes to play the Aztecs. Good move inside. Epps inside, sneaking behind the Utah defense, and gets the answer basket.
Utes drawn up by the penetration there, forcing them, having to cut off the penetration, and Epps was able to slide back behind the defense there and get that easy basket.
Phil Cullen back in. He has 2 personal fouls. Britton Johnson also with 2 on the floor. Cullen, well, he hasn't skipped a beat. He comes in, knocks down the jump shot.
Well, the Utes very comfortable out on the floor tonight. I think moving the ball well, as we mentioned before, but also just being ready in the shooting motion when they receive the ball.
Fox outside Correa, and Holcomb gets the ball on the elbow. Looks inside to Epps, but is fouled before he can complete the pass. Utah bench not real sure about that. Britton Johnson with number 3.
Take a look
Cullen's
at it.
Basket.
Now let's take a look and see if we can figure out where this foul was here.
They got him with a body, said the official. Little body contact. And it comes out to Holcomb outside. To Moore, who will set the offense for the Aztecs, who frankly have not had a lot of success in the half-court offense against Utah's defense. Holcomb's got a lane, runs into Althoff, and Nate Call with a block. Holcomb, a nice job coming off the pick. Nate stepped over, and the official said he got there just a half-second late.
Well, let's see here. Yeah,
he's still sliding.
He was moving.
Especially the upper body. If he could have kept the upper body stationary, I think he had enough hip to stop him.
Yeah, but again, that's Nate's job, though. He's got to get over there and cut off that penetration and defend the paint, even if it costs him a foul or 2 here or there.
That's his second. And Holcomb goes to the line to shoot a pair. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 7 points. As you said, Mark, double-doubles for Holcomb. This is a guy who is going to have to go some to get double-doubles tonight. Well, he's got the 7 rebounds and the 8 points, so I guess he's getting close. But Utah's done a nice job of shutting him down.
Yeah, they haven't let him have anything free tonight.
Well, he's got 9 points now, 7 boards. And it's an 11-point lead for Utah. Over the top. Althoff goes to the front of the rim. Cullen tries to get him the ball, and he's fouled. Moore. He picks up his 2nd personal foul.
And we'll take another look at his Althoff again, doing a nice job focusing on the ball and drawing the contact.
From the mouse in the house. Whoa, that pass knocked out of bounds almost and saved by San Diego State. Now Holcomb will bring it down floor quickly to Fox for 3. And Utah is there for the defensive rebound. San Diego State no box out at all.
Well, that's the Aztecs. They want to come down and shoot the ball quickly and try and create a little bit of momentum. And tonight their shot has just not been there for them.
Jacobson with 13 to lead all scorers. Nick Jacobson with a nice game. 3 assists to go with those 13 points.
And Moore, the point guard for San Diego State. I don't believe he's been out of the game yet, has he?
And Nate, I think, does he get called with a foul? No, it just went out of bounds. I thought he was going to get called with a foul. I thought, gee, you can't catch a break at all because Althoff just glued himself to the baseline, but it was just out of bounds off Utah. We all know how those big guys get picked on by the officials.
Amen, brother.
Steve Fisher talking to his team on the sideline. Whoa, that's going to bring rain or snow. It certainly won't draw, and Utah comes down quickly.
Well, Nick Jacobson did a nice job getting his hand up down there, though.
Cullen steps inside the 3, and Holcomb comes down with the rebound, and he and Moore fight over it, and they walk. A reminder, tonight's University of Utah game brought to you in part by Mount Olympus Spring Water, pure and natural. The first choice of Utahns since 1898.
I think Holcomb and Moore here, they just didn't know that each other had the ball there. They're both fighting, and unfortunately, that is a travel when you both move with it.
10th turnover to just 2 for Utah. And there's a wrap-up. Sanders had Nate Altoff in a bear hug. That was one of the latest whistles I've ever seen. I thought they weren't going to call it. It was so late.
Well, Nate did a nice job of kind of facing up to the basket here and then turning around and getting good solid position. Goes up real strong. Needs to finish those plays. But again, just very aggressive under the basket tonight.
Nate Altoff with 3 field goals in 4 attempts, 6 points. And there's his 7th point, and as we mentioned a little while ago, he likes to play against the Aztecs. Last year, 2 games, 21-point average, 14 of 16 from the field, 14 of 15 from the free throw line. And tonight, he has only missed 1 field goal. He's 3 of 4, and he hasn't missed a free throw.
He's playing very well. Just has to pick up the rebounding a little bit.
Up and under, and Moore scores on a drive. And that will drive coaches crazy on the defensive side.
Right, because you should be able to see the floor and be able to come over and cut off those kinds of penetration moves.
Moore's listed at 5'9", and that's generous, but he sliced in that time and scored. Sometimes the race goes to the quickest, and certainly he was quick then. Spivey out to Britton Johnson. Shot clock at 10. Spivey nowhere to go inside, but he finds somewhere to go. It won't go down for him. Moore will run it off for San Diego State. Holcomb for 3, and he's got it. And he has double figures. He has 12 points and 8 rebounds.
And the Utes did a good job of getting back and covering the paint, but neglected to get back out on the outside shooters. 10-point lead
for Utah. Closest it's been since, well, probably about 5 minutes left in the first half. Britton Johnson hangs and gets the offensive putback. Oh my, did he hang in the air. I thought maybe he was going to stay up long enough to tip it back in.
Nice hustle play.
Aztecs looking for something. Difference between Utah and San Diego State as the clock goes inside 10 seconds and Holcomb comes up short is that Utah tries to break down the offense with passing. Oh, the official says it went off Britton Johnson.
The fans do not agree.
No, I don't, and I think the fans are right. But Utah tries to break down the defense with passing. San Diego State tries to do it off the dribble. Timeout. With 15-17 left in this game, a moment ago, Britton Johnson hangs and puts the ball back in, and it's Utah by 12.
Announcing AT&T Digital Pocket Net service. Free unlimited access to the wireless internet so you can check movie listings, find restaurants, buy books, and get sports scores just by picking up the phone. And if you can do all this in the time it takes to cross the road, imagine what you can do with the rest of your life. Wireless from AT&T, your world close at hand.
At McDonald's, we give you a reason to smile every time. Like serving up our 2 for $2 deals. Get 2 mouth-watering Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwiches for just $2. Or 2 classic Big Mac sandwiches for just $2. Choose a Quarter Pounder with cheese and a Big Mac if you like. Only $2. With McDonald's 2 for $2 deals, I know you're smiling. Here's more 2 for $2 at McDonald's. You can also get 2 medium fries or 2 medium-sized soft drinks for just $2. Mix it, match it.
Would you trust this cute little nose, these itchy eyes, these aching muscles to just any care product? You don't have to. Ask your pharmacist about Perfect Choice. Each formula is created to match the quality and integrity of national brands, and yet they cost less. They're guaranteed to give your family the care every sore throat and every little elbow deserves. Perfect Choice. Your choice for exceptional quality. Available at Smith's.
Utah by 12, 42-30 with 15-17 remaining, but moments ago, Chris Burgess left the arena on crutches. You see that left ankle of Burgess that he rolled on a play in the first half, and Chris Burgess, who had the ankle, we know it's a bad sprain, and obviously he won't be back tonight. They said they will x-ray it later, and you hope for the young man's sake that it's nothing And in his absence, Nick Jacobson has really stepped up, Mark. He's 13 points for Utah, 5 of 10 from the floor, got 3 assists to go with those 13. And he has just really been an offensive scoring machine tonight.
Well, again, Steve, the Utes are continuing to show how well-rounded they are. And Nick Jacobson just knocking them down from outside tonight with 13 points and 3 assists thus far, doing a nice job filling in for the absence of Chris Burgess.
And again, you hope that for Chris's sake and for Utah's sake that it's nothing more serious than a sprained ankle. We all know how they can hurt, but it will be x-rayed later, and the fact that he's now in street clothes and leaving the building indicates he's probably going for that x-ray. There's a look at Nick Jacobson, and Utah with a 12-point lead will settle into that man-to-man defense that's really put the clamps on the offense of San Diego State tonight.
Well, it really has, Steve. They've done a nice job of just keeping the San Diego State Aztecs out on the perimeter for most of the evening and forcing them to really work to get good shots.
Abramowitz outside. Bounce pass inside, stolen by Utah's Phil Cullen. And the Utes will bring the ball up the floor. A reminder, tonight's University of Utah game brought to us in part by Smith's Food and Drug Centers. Smith's.
A good heads-up play by Phil Cullen by really overplaying there in the armbar position and tapping that ball away.
Utah patient offensively. They've got the lead. They don't need to force anything. And Jacobson pulls it back out when the lane is choked off. Utah now inside 10 on the shot clock. The outside shot won't go, and a foul underneath on the rebound. Foul against San Diego State. So Bradley can't find the mark, but the Utes crashed the boards.
They did a nice job forcing Majerus, who did not block out, or was unable to get in there. He was pushing those guys from behind there.
And I think the foul is going to be tabbed to Eric Sanders, but Sanders with the personal. And he picks up number 1, and Utah will trigger the ball in. That's Jackson into the Utah lineup. Jackson outside, exchanging with Britton Johnson. And they look inside. Can't get the ball in. Lance Allred wanted it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock as Jacobson takes a little bump and doesn't draw anything, so the air ball pulled down by San Diego State, and then out of control is Moore, and Cullen comes up limping.
Aztecs.
Ball goes out of bounds to San Diego State. Cullen says he's all right, and Jeff Johnson checks in. He'll replace Britton Johnson.
Glancing blow there, I think.
Yeah, maybe it had been the knee or the thigh.
Yep.
Trace Caton comes in, replacing Britton Johnson. It is the ankle. It kind of rolls in a little bit. It's not a bad one. He tried to stop, and it rolled under.
Back in for Cullen.
Now you just get that sports medicine staff to crank down the tape.
That's right.
Cullen goes out, still favoring the ankle a little bit.
That's one of those that'll be a little stiffer tomorrow than it is tonight.
Althoff is in the game. Look at the turnover stats. San Diego State, 11. Utah got 17 points off those turnovers. Utah with just 3 turnovers, and the Aztecs haven't converted a single point.
Utes playing very solid tonight.
Absolutely. When you're this far into a game, about 37 minutes into a game, you got 3 turnovers. That's what brings a smile to the coach's face. This one won't, though. Jeff Johnson tells the official, hey, I didn't get him, but he's called with a personal foul anyway. And it's a 3-shot foul.
Well, let's see here. He gets a hand up. Does he hit him on the arm? Ooh, I don't know.
He said no, but it's
like
a 3-shot foul.
To me.
If it was anything, he got the fingers. Well, we always played the hands part of the ball. So, see what Abramowitz does at the free throw line. He hits the first one. As we look at his Coca-Cola player card, this guy, incidentally, is a 73% free throw shooter. Out of Tijuana, Mexico. He hits the second, and he's going for number 3, much to the chagrin of Dick Hunsaker, who said he didn't like the call either.
I agree with him.
Yeah, it looked like he may have got the end of the finger, and that was about it.
Number 3, Chris Walker reporting for the Aztecs. Back in for Utah, number 42, Mike Busey.
Busey coming in for Utah, donning the face mask again.
As Allred goes out. Aztecs kind of putting on the loose zone press there.
Utes will swing the ball. Try and get that zone in an overshift and open somebody on the other side. Shot clock to 10. Johnson steps inside. He's got a good look at the basket. Comes up short, though. Correa pulls it down.
Good patience.
And a troweling violation on San Diego State. Will turn the ball back over to Utah for the 13th time.
Let's see what he does here. A little stutter step before he gets the ball down.
He's in the wrong league to get away with that.
That's right.
You got to go to the next level.
His name's not Shaq.
That's right.
Could have been a little better feed down there, low post.
And here come the Utes. Utah with a 42-33 advantage. It's been cut to under double figures, which is good news for San Diego State, as they're just trying to chip away at it. And Utah has not been as efficient with the basketball here in the early going in the second half as they were in the first. That will change things significantly. Jackson collides as he goes to the basket and gets not only the better of the scoring situation, but the better of the collision as well. Watch it again.
Goes up solid and gets a little elbow right to the chin of Correa there. He'll remember that one tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. And wow.
Whoa, hello.
Yep. Yeah, boy, he took a pretty good shot, did Correa.
Kept his feet for a minute when it looked there like he was obviously stunned.
Punch drunk, I think,
That's
was
right.
the stepping in post holes, but he was all right, and he managed to hang in there. So Jackson goes to the line to try and complete the three-point play, and Correa goes to the bench with 4 personal fouls, that is.
Nice heads-up rebound there by Mike Pusey.
The Utes hit the offensive boards. They lead the rebounding battle with that one by 1, 24-23. Utah's only Achilles heel tonight has been their free throw percentage. They're just 3 of 6 at 50%. Johnson says, let's just hit him from the outside. Jeff Johnson
continuing to play well.
And Utah has got the 46-33 lead. Ball dug out of there nicely by Jeff Johnson. Caton to Johnson, who'll finish. Nice assist, heads-up play by Trace Caton, and Jeff Johnson with the steal and with the basket.
Trace Caton doing a nice job of coming down and drawing the defense to him before dishing the ball over for the easy assist.
And Steve Fisher wants a timeout to talk to his squad. They had it down to 9. It's now back to 15. So Utah has outscored them 6-0. And this is a 30-second timeout brought to us by Mount Olympus Spring Water. So the Utes getting it done defensively. And on that last play, Jeff Johnson just rooting out the basketball on defense and then heading the break. Trace Caton keeping his head up and finding Johnson for the finish. Here it is. Watch the move to the basket. There's Jeff just reaching out with the left hand, and he's smart enough to release at that point, and Caton will find him.
Right, Caton did a nice job there, picking the ball up, controlling it, bringing it down, and watch him just draw the defense to him. And boom, over to Jeff Johnson for the easy 2.
Yeah, he stayed wide, Mark, something that you teach players to do. So he drew both defenders off to the right elbow. And sure enough, that freed up the other side. And Jeff Johnson with a nice finish, but Caton a great pass.
Indeed.
So Utah now with the lead. And again, you know, looking pretty confident at 48-33. Things are a little shaky at 42-33. And they seem to have lost some momentum. Perhaps that would energize the crowd the last play. And Steve Fisher knew that and decided to call the 30-second timeout. And then San Diego State comes out of the timeout and forces a shot.
Well, that's the hardest thing to do when you have a lead, is to maintain that momentum and maintain that level of energy. But the Utes doing a pretty good job of it tonight.
Caton for 3. And a rebound foul on San Diego State. Althoff going up for it. I think got pushed in the back. Here's a look at it one more time. Here you see the push in the back by Byron Epps on Althoff. And a timeout taken on the floor at 10:46 left in the half. Utah by 15. Back with more in the Huntsman Center right after this.
Hi, this is Frank Layden, honorary chairman of the annual Sugar House Rotary and R.C. Willie Chili Open.
It's on its way again. The annual Chili Open happens Saturday, February 10th at Wheeler Farm. Join these gold sponsors and play winter golf. Plus, there's all the Nally's chili you can eat and all the Meadow Gold Viva Slam you can drink. For information, see R.C. Willie or your local golf shop. All proceeds go to these 10 local charities.
Join me on February 10th at Wheeler Farm for a good time and a great cause.
The mountain. Eternal. Inspiring. Provider of life. Spring water for life. Mount Olympus Waters. First in thirst at every athletic event.
Since 1904, Bryant has been making dependable furnaces for your home. Keep your family comfortable without worry this winter with a 90% efficient Bryant furnace. Get complete comfort for your family with Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning. See your nearest Bryant dealer for details.
Air Design, Heating and Cooling in Murray, and High Country HVAC Incorporated in Centerville.
Utah by 15, and Steve Fisher, veteran coach that he is, decides to stop the bleeding, calls a timeout. And he's a guy who's been and seen it all. He won a national championship at Michigan, but he knows when he's dealing in the Mountain West Conference, there's one team that he's got to beat.
Utah is a team that in no small measure win because they're Utah. They walk on the floor and they are shell-shocked if they don't win. That comes with winning. They've got what everybody wants. They've got a program. They don't have a one-year flash. They've got a program.
And that's what he's hoping to build at San Diego State. It's what he did at Michigan. Incidentally, just coincidentally, of course, he won the national championship in 1989 as an interim head coach. Dick Hunsaker, of course, is in that position here at Utah, and it certainly can be done as he won that 1989 national championship with the University of Michigan. It was a prove-it year for him, and he did, and now he's moved on to San Diego State. And they want to build that program, and it won't come in 1 year, but the 10-5 start they're off to this year is a long way from where they had been.
The question is now, can you name the guys that run his team then that year?
Well, he had some big names on that team. We'll come back to it in just a minute. Moore with the rebound goes down. And it comes off to Utah's Pusey. Will bring it down. Utah with the basketball, 48-33, the Ute lead. Utes will take their time. They've been patient all night, and it's paid off.
And I'll tell you what, Steve, though, even though the Utes coughed off the ball there that time, the San Diego State defense has definitely quieted down compared to what it was like in the first half, intensity-wise.
It absolutely has. You look at the field goal, Utah over 40% on a travel violation. San Diego State with just 28 field goal attempts now, 10 of 28. Utah is 20 of 47. So an incredible difference in the number of field goal attempts. There's a look at it again. The walk.
He's got a little tied up there.
Caton back outside. And again, Utah will take their time. There's no reason to rush at this point. And the basket is good.
And Again, Steve, I can't say enough about the fact that the Utes were so patient there, moving the ball around one side to the other. And even though Coach Hunsaker obviously has a couple of issues with exactly where Nate Althoff was set up on that offensive play, Trace Caton doing a nice job there.
Well, the foul is on Chris Walton, and you can probably hear the crowd behind me. That's because Chris is the son of Bill Walton, and so he's going to be a marked man anywhere he goes when you have a father who achieved the accolades that his father did.
Quite a legacy to carry around.
Absolutely. Utah with a rebound, and their scoring run is 8-0. Looking inside. No, the outside shot now by Jacobson is off the mark, and Utah again hitting the offensive boards. So the Utes out-rebounding San Diego State 30-23, and that goes a long way to maintaining control of the tempo of the game.
Because actually in halftime, Steve, they were down 19-18, so they're doing a much better job rebounding in the second half.
That's right. Eight seconds on the shot clock. And Caton's shot won't fall. Foul underneath by Trace Caton against Utah. Well, we know Chris Webber was on that national championship team.
That's right. I was hoping you could tell me the rest of them.
I'll let you take care of all of those. I'll tell you one thing. Steve Fisher has coached some pretty good players over the years. And he's a guy who, you know, he's kind of a soft-spoken guy in a lot of ways, but you watch him on the floor, and the intensity seems to rise throughout the game with him.
Well, he certainly has the experience, that's for sure. Very well-respected coach over the years. You know, speaking of rebounding, Steve, in the last 48 conference games the Utes have played, they've only been out-rebounded one time.
And that's probably why they have a 39-game conference winning streak at home. You control the boards, most times you control the game. (50-35), a 15-point lead for the University of Utah. Nine seconds on the shot clock. Spivey for three, and he drains it.
Nice job by Travis Spivey putting that ball down.
Spivey has had a nice game for himself. He's got just 3 points, but a couple of assists, a rebound, and generally has run the Ute offense very efficiently.
And again, I think the big issue there, too, is the absence of turnovers, which plagued the Utes early on in the season this year. They seem to have resolved that and are doing a much better job taking care of the basketball, and a lot of that responsibility falls on the guard line.
Another drought in field goals for San Diego State all of the first half as Kovacic commits the foul against Britton Johnson and brings him to the free throw line.
Rick Johnson at the line for the Utes.
At the line, Britton Johnson short, and Fox comes off with a rebound. Shot blocked, and Utah comes the other way. Drop pass for Jacobson from Spivey, who tries the baseline and backs it out again.
Nice defensive play down there at the other end by Jacobson, going up and blocking that shot.
And the Utes will settle back into their half-court offense.
You can never have enough block shots, you know, Steve.
That's right, spoken like a shot blocker. And an offensive foul committed by Britton Johnson will send the ball back the other way. So fourth personal foul for Britton Johnson. But a moment ago, Travis Spivey comes down, sets up, pulls the trigger on the three, and Utah leads 53-35.
Life has its little ups and downs. That's why VoiceStream gives you more time to call whenever you want.
Okay, I'm on it. Keep talking, Austin.
Only VoiceStream gives you 600 anytime minutes for $39.99.
Got it.
Plus 2,000 minutes of free nationwide calling on weekends. No one gives you more. Guaranteed.
Darling, you're glowing.
guy in the elevator.
So get VoiceStream and get more from life.
Hello.
After 14 seasons of pro ball, I know the value of staying in shape. Fitness counts, whether you're playing for a championship or just playing at home with the kids. And Upper Limit has all the top-name fitness equipment you'll ever need.
Save on true treadmills during Upper Limit's holiday sale. Try the new 550, the widest, smoothest running home treadmill you can buy, and the only one with an adjustable cushioning system. Detour on 33rd South to 9th West and save.
Upper Limit, Utah's largest fitness store. Salt Lake and Orem.
When it comes to buying your next car, there's someone you already know. With this guy, you're never far from the best in price, selection, and service. Larry H. Miller. After all, you know this guy.
Utah leads 53-35, the dyslexic score here in the Huntsman Center. A program note, watch KJAZ TV for a zany half hour of laughs on Frazier. Tune in to watch Seattle's favorite psychologist tackle daily problems. That's Frazier weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30 only on KJAZ TV. And I'll give you the Fab Five anyway of Steve Fisher in his year at the University of Michigan. Juwan Howard was in that group. Jimmy King, Ray Jackson, Jalen Rose, and Chris Webber. And in fact, he had 7 players during Fisher's years at Michigan. He had 7 players who were taken in the first round of the NBA draft, including 3 members of the Fab Five.
And they just had 2 runner-up finishes.
Yep. Right. So it's a pretty good legacy. Look at the second chance points. That's offensive rebounds, folks. Utah with 12 points, second chance baskets to 0 for San Diego State.
The Utes have done a nice job using their size advantage tonight of pounding the offensive boards hard.
Good individual performances tonight by Jacobson for Utah. Holcomb, San Diego State, who has the ball, passes inside to Moore for the basket. Who will be the MVP? Listen for the announcement of tonight's AT&T Wireless MVP following the game, and then visit an AT&T Wireless location before the next U of U home game. If you activate a new line of service, you get a $25 credit. So you got to remember who the AT&T MVP is, and we'll tell you following the game. Utes with a 16-point edge. Approaching the 6-minute mark here in this game. Jacobson's 3 over the top.
And again, the challenge, Steve, is when you have a lead like this and there's 5.5 minutes to go, you got to keep the intensity up. You have to keep the execution level where it needs to be. And that's a big challenge for the coaching staff of Utah.
Well, still only 6 turnovers total for Utah. They had 1 at halftime, but San Diego State's had a better job in the second half. They got 14 total. I think it was 8-1 at halftime. So 6 and 5 for Utah, 6 for the Aztecs, 5 for the Utes here in the second half.
San Diego State still had a difficult time, though, solving the defense of the Utes. They've stayed mostly on the perimeter.
Mark, with 5.5 minutes left, you got 37 points. That's pretty good defensive effort.
Absolutely.
Utes holding the Aztecs to 34% from the floor. Utah shooting 42%, but 42% on 20 more field goal attempts. Nice shot by Spivey. Utah has 53 field goal attempts to San Diego State's 32. Now, turnovers will affect that, certainly. You have 14 less opportunities by turning the ball over, and a net difference of 8 opportunities. Altoff.
Nice defense by Britton Johnson, getting down in there and trying to take the charge.
Yeah, and Britton Johnson has got 4 personals on him, too. He'll look inside. Will Britton Johnson? You know, we haven't seen Phil Cullen back after he rolled that ankle, so maybe that's a little more serious than it looked. Or maybe the Utes just don't need to push it right now, leading 55-37. Well, they've already lost one big man tonight, Burgess.
Phil Cullen is actually sitting at the scorer's table right now.
Well, we'll see what happens. Nice pickup. I was looking for him on the bench. I didn't see him there either, and he does come in. So whatever happened with that, it doesn't look to be too serious. And We'll see how it affects, if any, his play. But Utah with Chris Burgess already in the locker room and probably on his way to the hospital tonight to have his left ankle x-rayed as he rolled it stepping on another player's foot.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too severe that he won't have to miss too much time.
San Diego State only have 4 players on the floor. And now they got 5. Steve Fisher looks down the bench and says, what was that all about? He says, get over here and call a timeout. I want a timeout. And that's exactly what his guard Abramowitz does. He wants to talk to the official, maybe. He wants a full timeout. So we have a full timeout on the floor with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. Utah with a 55-37 edge. And the Utes getting really top to bottom great contributions, Mark. It's been a team effort tonight. True, you've got Jacobson with 13 points. He's far and away the leading scorer, but Nate Althoff has 8. And then you've got Trace Caton with 7. A pair of Utes, Johnson, that's Britton Johnson, and his brother Jeff Johnson with 6 apiece. Bradley and Spivey with 5 apiece. And 2 for Jackson and 2 for Cullen.
Well, and again, I think the same theme that carried him to victory in Wyoming in the UNLV games is playing out again tonight, where the Utes have done a nice job of moving the ball, working for the open shot, and whoever happens to get there and have that open shot has been knocking it down.
And one of the reasons has been the maturity of Travis Spivey at the point guard, and Dick Hunsaker likes what he's seen.
Early in the year, frankly, Spivey was ticketed to be our leader, our point guard, and the whole system at Utah, the defensive schemes, the offensive style, frankly, overwhelmed Travis, and it just took him really until this Texas start to really get comfortable.
Well, he certainly looks comfortable tonight in the role. Travis Spivey, 2 of 5 field goals, 1 of 3 from three-point range. Hasn't attempted a free throw yet, but he's got a pair of rebounds and a pair of assists and 5 points.
You know, I think, Steve, as we've watched the Utes thus far this year, he certainly looks a lot more comfortable out on the floor than he did earlier in the season.
Yeah, the evolution of the point guard is really crucial to Utah's success. Both Bradley and Spivey have shown a maturity that of late that has certainly served Utah well. 5 seconds on the clock. Holcomb trying to break Trace Caton down off the dribble. Oh, a great pass underneath, and Abramowitz can't finish. Well, can't fault Holcomb on that.
No, that was a pretty sweet play.
Drew the attention to himself and flipped the pass, but Abramowitz came up a little lacking on the execution. Spivey outside for Utah with 3:35 left in the game. And Utah with a 55-37 lead. Holcomb with a rebound. And Holcomb with that rebound, I believe he may have gone to the double-double. He's got 9 on the official stats and 12 points. And underneath, collision, ball out of bounds.
Nate Althoff telling Mr. Epps they're take that back home.
Absolutely,
and work on
keep
it
the
some more.
weak stuff out of the middle, says Big Nate, and we'll be gone.
There's just no substitute for experience. Especially when you're buying a car. And there's no more experienced dealer than Hinckley Dodge. Hinckley has been selling cars since 1915, doing it longer and better than anyone else. Maybe that's why Hinckley outsold the next largest Utah Dodge dealer by 2,600 vehicles last year. Experience. That's the Hinckley difference. Hinckley Dodge in Salt Lake and Ogden.
At McDonald's, we give you a reason to smile every time. Like serving up our 2 for $2 deals. Get 2 mouth-watering quarter pounder with cheese sandwiches for just $2. Or 2 classic Big Mac sandwiches for just $2. Choose a quarter pounder with cheese and a Big Mac if you like. Only $2. With McDonald's 2 for $2 deals, I know you're smiling. Here's more 2 for $2 at McDonald's. You can also get 2 medium fries or 2 medium-sized soft drinks for just $2. Mix it, match it.
You're a sports nut. Whatever the sport, football, baseball, boxing, golf, basketball. You want it all. You'll get it all day, every day, with the Dish Network. Plus, the Dish Network brings you news, pay-per-view, and your favorite local stations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. without those annoying little cable glitches. Cut the cable. Sign up for Dish Network today and get what you pay for.
Well, you know, Steve, one of the reasons that the San Diego State Aztecs have had so much trouble tonight has been the great interior defense of the Utes. And we're going to take a look here at our Larry H. Miller dealership's chalkboard of Majerus with the ball over here. And he's going to drive right into the middle here. And Nate Althoff is going to do a nice job just recovering and going up and blocking the shots and telling him to take that back home and work on it some more. So here's Majerus with the ball. Does get around Nate, but Nate does a nice job recovering. Goes up and slaps that thing out of there, telling him, hey, man, this is my house.
Chalkboard brought to you, as you said, by the Larry H. Miller Auto Dealerships, where we're doing whatever it takes to provide an atmosphere of total customer satisfaction.
You
well,
know
Nate,
this guy.
I know that guy. You know this guy. Look at this. Home conference winning streak, longest in the nation at 39 games. Longest in history is Kansas 44. It should be number 40 tonight. Barring some major catastrophe, Utah leads it by 18 with just a little over 3 minutes remaining. Aztecs throw the ball away. Caton comes down for it. Abramowitz, sacrificing the body, manages to save it.
Oh, nice hustle by the Utes.
Holcomb goes back down. And Abramowitz looks inside. Correa has it slapped away, but a personal foul on the inside.
And things getting a little sloppy out there. This is when you need to be careful because you don't want to get guys hurt. The Utes need to continue to stick to their game plan here. They've done a nice job all night long of being pretty consistent, and so you don't want to have any little mishaps now in the last 2.5 minutes.
So Travis Spivey picks up the personal foul for Utah. San Diego State, 17 fouls. Utah with 6, as we are down now to the 2:40 mark left in this one. Fusey slaps the ball away, but it's chased down by San Diego State. A foul inside, off the window. Correa's shot is good, and Althoff with the personal foul. Oh, it's on Pusey, I beg your pardon.
Well, let's see if we can see it here. Althoff.
So it was from behind.
Yes, so yeah, from behind. Pusey has kind of extended himself out there trying to get that ball at the sideline and then rush back in there and get a hand in there.
Correa cannot complete the three-point play. San Diego State shooting 72% from the field. Utah with a nice game tonight, but if you're Dick Hunsaker, the one thing that will concern you is 37.5% from the free throw line. So Utes probably get some free throw drills this week. In a close game, obviously, it can make the difference. Tonight, it's a moot point.
Yeah, I think you're right, Steve. I think that is an issue that's plagued the Utes a little bit this year, and it's something that's certainly resolvable.
Yeah, the Utes have totally dominated, though, this game since the outset. Caton's three just beats the shot clock. And a 58-39 Utah lead.
That's 10 points for him.
And he's got a rebound to go with the total.
4 for 6 from the field.
And a pair of rebounds.
Well, a real solid game tonight, too. He's been very active out there.
58-39 Utah for their 40th conference home game. A little too tall for Jacobson. Saw you over here at the table, figured you could back him up. And here's a look at the pass inside, kicked out by Big Nate, and Caton just beats the shot clock. The horn went off as it went through.
But he was ready to shoot when he caught the ball. Already in the shooting motion before the ball ever got there.
And a 30-second timeout has been taken with 1:24 left in this game. And Utah has the lead and has got the win on this one. A 19-point lead for Utah. Program note, so what do you want to watch? How about a half hour of love, life, and comedy on Friends? It's America's most loved coffee house companions. Join your favorite friends weeknights at 6 and 10 only on KJazz TV. Another program note for you, we'll be having Lady Ute Gymnastics as they travel to Los Angeles, California to take on the UCLA Bruins. That's January 21st. That's Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on KJazz TV. Missy Marlowe will join me to call all the action in that one as Utah is at UCLA Sunday. Women's gymnastics, 3 o'clock only on KJazz TV. The Lady Utes off and running here in the new season. They've got Kulikowski back and some of those injured Utes from a year ago. And Greg Marsden's team set to make another statement in gymnastics. Oh, big block. Big time block from Koford that time. And Utah just continues to add to their total. 3 blocks now officially for the Utes. Inside a minute to go. Utes will be patient. About 31 seconds different between the game and the shot clocks. Jackson draws iron. Utah will now have the opportunity to hold the basketball without taking a shot for the remainder of this game. And Utah has come up with their 3rd consecutive Mountain West Conference win. They are 3-0. They are 40 straight at home in conference play.
Give them credit. They played a great game tonight.
Absolutely. And for San Diego State, it's back to the drawing board. They played much better tonight than they did in the 29-point loss against Brigham Young. But they come up on the short end of a 58-39 total. Utah getting it done on both ends of the floor. Steve Fisher shaking hands with Dick Hunsaker. We'll go to break. We'll put a ribbon on this one when we come back to the Jon M. Huntsman Center as Utah wins it 58-39.
Who really rules the Highland Games?
That's Wonder Woman time. Aye, Lottie, she's a strong one for sure.
Not even a little bit intimidated by your muscles.
You're not going to believe the next to tell the truth.
Weekdays at 10 and 10:30 on KJazz TV.
You're watching KJazz TV, home of the Runnin' Utes.
They possess a collective obsession with speed, an addiction to velocity. At Phillips, we too feel this irresistible temptation for performance. That's why the same company who engineers fuel for supersonic fighter planes makes premium gasolines for your car. Super clean gasoline from Phillips 66. Uncompromising performance for you and your car.
Would you trust this cute little nose, these itchy eyes, these aching muscles to just any care product? You don't have to. Ask your pharmacist about Perfect Choice. Each formula is created to match the quality and integrity of national brands, and yet they cost less. They're guaranteed to give your family the care every sore throat and every little elbow deserves. Perfect Choice. Your choice for exceptional quality. Available at Smith's.
Tired of your humdrum, go-nowhere job? Do you want out? In about 3 weeks, you could change your life. Lewis Ayres Driving Schools offers low-cost training with no hidden fees, and Lewis Ayres offers placement assistance. Earn $35,000 to $40,000 per year to start. Financing is available, so don't delay. In less than a month, you could be on the road to a new, exciting, and high-paying career in the trucking industry. Call today, 801-886-1327, or you could stay right where you are.
Utes now atop the Mountain West Conference with a perfect 3-0 mark after dispatching San Diego State tonight, 58-39. Welcome back to the Huntsman Center, everybody. And Mark, I thought, again, we got top to bottom a great game and an effort out of Utah's players. The balance that has shown up throughout the entire season so far showed up again. No real runaway leading scoring candidate, but just good team play.
No, I think you're right, Steve, and that's the biggest difference that I see in the games that we did earlier in the season versus now. The fact that the Utes are being much more patient, they're much more efficient with their offense, they seem to be much more comfortable playing together out there, and give credit to the coaching staff. They did a nice job of pulling them together. Well,
when you get that kind of balance, it makes it real difficult to select the most valuable player, but we have done. An AT&T most valuable player tonight is Nate Althoff, our player of the game. And if you go to an AT&T wireless location and mention Nate Althoff as the MVP before the next Ute home game, if you open a new line of service, get a $25 credit. Efficiency really the key to Nate's selection tonight, Mark.
Yeah, he really played well all night, Steve. He did a nice job of posting himself up, getting down low, being ready to receive the ball in every situation, and just going right up strong, not hesitating. he looks a lot more relaxed out there, I think, and really continued to play well all night, as well as not getting in foul trouble. I thought that was the other big issue that, you know, he started in some of the games the past few weeks. He has struggled with foul trouble a little bit. Tonight did a nice job of playing good, solid defense and playing defense with his feet and not getting in foul trouble.
Could have made a case for Nick Jacobson. He had 13 points tonight and a couple of assists and a couple of rebounds. Again, it's very difficult when you've got guys contributing, but that's what Utah had tonight, top to bottom, and they got the win, 58-39. We'll be back and look inside the numbers in just a moment.
When it comes to buying your next car, there's someone you already know. With this guy, you're never far from the best in price, selection, and service. Larry H. Miller. After all, you know this guy.
Time for new furniture? Then it's time for R.C. Willey. R.C. Willey offers the largest selection of bedding found anywhere. Serta, Spring Air, and Simmons. So get into R.C. Willey. Just what you're looking for in a furniture store, but you better hurry.
It seems like we're getting less and less control.
Health is everything. If you're not healthy, you're not happy.
I want a doctor that doesn't stick me in a waiting room for hours.
What I want from my health care plan is flexibility,
consistency, and integrity.
Be there when the pressure's on.
Health insurance is vital in today's business market.
We have 12 employees, and it's very important to cover every one of them.
It's even more important to have control in your health care.
I'm a control kind of person.
The 16-month-old baby is in control at my house.
It's your life. It's your health. Take control.
Utes with a win, 58-39, the final tonight. And, of course, Utah at 11-6 now overall and 3-0 in conference play. Time to take a look at our leading scores, brought to us by Phillips 66, the performance company. And, again, we talked about balanced scoring. Actually, on both sides of the ledgers, decent scoring. Holcomb with 12 for San Diego State. He also had 10 rebounds, so he got his double-double again. Epps with 7. And Robban off the bench with 5 points, and that's your leading scorer for San Diego State. Jacobson, meantime, leads Utah with 13. Caton comes off the bench with 10, and Althoff, our MVP tonight, with 8 points. So, again, we look at the final stats brought to us by First Security, giving 110%. Utah shoots the ball pretty well when all is said and done tonight. They're over the 40% mark, rather, at 43. Free throws, the big area of concern, and a lot of three-point attempts. But, boy, you win the battle of the boards. That'll negate a lot of the problems you have in other areas. 15-8, the assist-to-turnover ratio, too. That's got to look good.
Yeah, I think that's a key stat there, where they are doing a nice job, even though they had 7 turnovers in the second half. Overall for the night, very nice. But the 39 rebounds as well, Steve. 13 of those 39 rebounds were on the offensive end. So, again, you can't, you know, that's just a hustle play where you look down there and say, yeah, the guys were going after the rebounds. They were getting in there, and they were mixing it up. And that's a nice stat.
All right, we'll take a break, back with some final thoughts and let you know about next telecast.
Wyoming rivalry went to the Utes in Salt Lake City. And it was Utah's stingy defense that forced 25 turnovers and led to easy opportunities all night long. The loss did not sit well with Wyoming coach Steve McLean. The rematch from Laramie is next. Welcome to the Mountain West Game of the Week, presented by Comfort Inn. And at the AA in Laramie on the Wyoming campus, it's raucous, it's nearly full. They're ready to see their Cowboys try to post a big win over the Utes of Utah. Welcome, everybody, along with Irv Brown, Ted Robinson, to our Saturday afternoon Mountain West Game of the Week. Hey, what does this game mean today? Wyoming needs a big win to stay in the top half of the league. Irv, if Utah wins this game, they're sitting